What are we doing? Tom Brady is back already. What did I tell you about this man? What did I say? This man literally said before that playoff loss, I cannot imagine retiring at this high level of play. He said it. The man said it right before that brutal playoff loss. And then he comes out and surprisingly retires. And what do we say? Tom Brady would be back. Maybe we didn't think he'd be back this quick, but we knew he'd be back. This man can't sit at home. What's he going to do? Dishes? Pick up the laundry? 10 minutes of that, Brady's already thinking about getting back on the field. This man was nowhere near wanting to retire before that playoff loss. And sometimes you get into a negative space when you lose a game like that, a lot on the line, some unraveling going on in Tampa Bay, and then he wants to retire all of a sudden. That's not going to happen. We knew that wasn't going to happen. He would be back eventually. The man Tom Brady's back. He put out a tweet about 7 minutes ago that says, "These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come." And that's the same thing for being at home. You can't word it like that. And I know that it sounds callous to say, but when you are built a certain way, you can only do certain things. Okay? This guy's not made to sit in the kitchen flipping waffles. On occasion, he can. He's a field general. He needs to be busy. He's like a shark. The analogy of a shark in the ocean. If a shark stops for a moment, it's gonna die. He needs to be swimming constantly in the NFL game. Tom Brady, let me continue. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. Let's freaking go. Puts photos of family and team collectively in a tweet and says, let's rock and roll for 2022. We knew it was coming. Here it comes. And for those that are upset, don't be upset. Competition breeds success. For those that wanted the NFC to be weak, the NFC's not weak any longer. Aaron Rodgers is back. Tom Brady is back. And you've got Trey to the Bay. Trey might be king of the NFC still. I'm not backing down on that because I think Trey Lance could be that good, but the NFC is going to be rocking and ready to rumble in 2022. This is crazy. This is crazy. We knew we wouldn't see A-Rod and Brady leaving. We knew that. We did think there was a possibility that we could see Tom Brady maybe sit out for a big portion of the offseason, but both of them eventually be back in the mix. Maybe Tom Brady was mentally thinking, I can retire and then the Bucks move on and then I could come back and say, hey, trade my rights, make it easier to facilitate a trade. We don't know what he was thinking when he stepped away very oddly after having an interview where this man said, I can't imagine stepping away. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. I can't imagine stepping away from the game playing at as high a level of football as I'm playing. That's what he said right before he loses a brutal playoff loss, but almost comes back. And needs a break from football. I think he was too reactive. I think he should have sat on it until the same amount of time that A-Rod sat on it so he could think about it more rather than retire on a whim and then completely regret it later. No harm, no foul. Thomas, come back into the fold. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. And Tom Brady, we thought Aaron Rodgers, as my boy Dr. Raj just said on Instagram Live, because we went on Instagram Live for a second. Make sure you're following me, The Fantasy Football Show on IG. And he just said, man, we thought Aaron Rodgers was wanting attention. Tom Brady just stole the show. And Tom Brady's back. He's back. He's back in Tampa Bay. He's not going anywhere else. You can see by the tweet right here that he's saying, Tampa Bay, I'm back in Tampa Bay. Unfinished business, let's freaking go. This is not a move to go somewhere else. This is not about getting traded. He's back in Tampa Bay. Godwin was retained. Evans is there. They're going to make a splash. They're going to want to build around this man because they got 1 year left probably. You never know. It could be 2, but 1 year left with Thomas Brady, the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend. They will make sure they surround him with as much potential as they can to make this last hurrah. And yes, pure pressure. People a lot of times say that They're ready to retire to be with family. And I don't want to sound callous here, but this man's built a certain way. Okay? He will never, ever just sit at home. He will never, even if he tried to step away from the game and let's say he couldn't take it back, he would embed himself into his Brady brand in different businesses and ownership potential and who knows what, coaching, whatever. Probably more ownership and upper level stuff than it would be coaching. But this man would probably, I think what he probably figured out is if he steps away, he's going to be so involved in those other things that he might be gone as much. He might be doing just as much craziness with work-related stuff with his branding, then it didn't really matter if he retired or not retired. He's not given that much time back to his life and what he envisioned he would do when he retired. Look, that time will come, as he said up here. The time will come when the talent drops off and he can step away. But when you have one or two, but probably just one elite year left, and you're playing at this level, stronger than ever, really. I had Danny Woodhead on the show, and Danny Woodhead, former Brady teammate, said that he's actually got a stronger arm right now than when he was younger, when he entered the NFL. And this man can't stay away from football. He can't. There's no way. There's no way. Even when he finally retires, he's going to be involved and embedded. He's not going to be in the stands like this tweet. He's going to be involved. And I think he realized that over-involvement that he's going to force himself to do no matter what part of the game he's involved in. It didn't matter to him. Like, oh my God, I've got an obsessive personality, obsessive compulsive personality to working. That's what he's thinking. Like, if I retired from this, I would just do something else to this degree. So that's why it doesn't make sense for obsessive people that are obsessed with their job and obsessed with what they do and literally live, sleep, and breathe it. They can't step away like they think they can when they want to retire. So guess what? Thomas Brady's back. Tom Brady's playing 2022. Dynasty Leaguers, I hope you didn't drop him. And if you're in Superflex drafts right now, mid-draft, you might want to grab Thomas Brady. In fact, I got a buddy. I've got one of my followers in a draft right now. And I think his draft is over, but I better tell him. Make sure Thomas Brady, I'm live right now on YouTube if you can tell, Big Mike. Make sure you pick up Thomas Brady in your Superflex that you're drafting in because the man's back, baby. He's back. He's back. And if you want text from me like that, just get on over to sleeperu.com. Order my lifetime membership at sleeper.u.com and order your lifetime membership. It comes with the highest level membership comes with 2 years of text advice, so we can do that. So I can drop you little nuggets while I'm in the middle of a show or answer your text when you have a trade dilemma. So go to sleeper.u.com. Let's see some of these comments. Let's see what some of you guys are thinking. We got Smooth Criminal first in the building. You haven't been first in the building in a while, Smooth Criminal. You need to step up your game, baby. Mealy's in here. To Brady back. I think you mean Tom Brady back. Let's go. Matt in the house. Jose says you called it. You called it on the insider call. We have, if you go to my YouTube channel, click the blue join button. We do Zoom calls every Sunday where we have a private exclusive group. We jumped on a Zoom call today. We talked about Tom Brady, that he was coming back. We talked about it on the show today. So if you want in on those private Zoom calls every Sunday, go to my YouTube, click the blue join button. Auntie, what's up, man? What's up, man? What's up, Philip? The GOAT is back, says Matt. So glad I didn't drop him, says Kevin. What's up, Tariq? Glad to see you're here. Kevin, what's going on, pal? You're the GOAT. If Tom Brady has a horrible season, is he officially done? Absolutely, Saklan. Absolutely. But I think he does pretty well. Thank you, Tariq. Appreciate it. You're the GOAT, pal. Smokescreen season unleashing. Is this not the best offseason we've ever experienced in the last, decade? We had the best NFL draft we're probably ever going to see in the next 10 years last year. It was an unbelievable draft. Unbelievable draft. The NFL draft was amazing. Just magnificent. And now we have, coupled with it the next year, back-to-back, the best offseason I can remember. The smoke has been thick, and it's been hard to navigate through the smoke. I don't care. I love it. I don't care that it's hard to predict some of this stuff. A lot of people will come in and give you a hard time and say, Smitty, they'll say, Smitty, you didn't see that one coming, or Smitty, that wasn't what you said 4 shows ago. As if anyone's able to see through the smoke. It's all about getting on here and talking about the options, the many options that all of this stuff presents to us. The dominoes fall, and then other dominoes fall because those dominoes fell a certain way. There's no predicting this to a T. It's deciphering and projecting and predicting the best we can and reacting. Reacting's number one. It doesn't matter so much where we predict something to happen because it's hard to see 10 moves ahead, and you really can't make a lot of trades based on rumors and smoke. So while it would be nice to say, hey, yeah, we should all go out and get Mike Evans because Brady's coming back for sure, you don't really know for sure. Not to mention you don't know if he's coming back and getting his rights traded because he comes back a little too late and the Bucs move on. They bring in another quarterback, and then live's still continuing here. The live cut out. We had some internet issues there. Can you guys, is this still the same stream? Hopefully it didn't start a new stream. I'm pretty sure we're still, I'm sure we're still going. Anyway, where were we at? Thomas Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady broke my internet. How long was I down? This is crazy. Thomas Brady slowed the internet down to a crawl, and my live stream just stopped. It's like, what? Tom, calm down, Tom. Unbelievable. My live stream literally stopped. I think because of the Tom Brady news. I'm pretty sure we went down because of Tom Brady. He literally is breaking the internet. He's literally breaking the internet. Here are some other pieces of news. I know it's kind of ridiculous to talk about anything else right now, and we'll certainly get back to Tom Brady, don't worry. But there are a few pieces of news I want to toss out real quick that are relevant right now. And so let me throw these onto my screen here, and let's briefly go over them and then get back to Tom Brady because this is big news. Gallup signed a 5-year, $62.5 million deal. That is a big deal. And I believe when people say Amari Cooper left, now what's going to happen in Dallas? It's great news for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, top 5 wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, top 5 wide receiver to the moon, to Neptune, to Pluto. And guess what? Michael Gallup deserves this shot. He's a little injury prone, but guess what? He can fill the shoes of Amari Cooper better than people think. And anything left over, that's a shame. It goes to CeeDee Lamb. Losing Cooper does nothing. This Cowboys offense was the number 1 offense in the league for a reason, okay? So losing Cooper and replacing with Gallup, who couldn't get timeshare, he couldn't get enough targets because Cooper was there. Nothing happens. It's fine. Schultz to the moon. You want a name that's probably most positively affected other than CeeDee Lamb to the Amari Cooper departure? Tony Pollard a little bit too, right? He's going to catch more passes. But Schultz, Dalton Schultz, top 5 to 6 tight end season in the cards now that Amari Cooper's gone? I think so. Gallup worth taking a stab at as a wide receiver 3-4 in fantasy? Absolutely. So that's huge news. Not to mention, and let me put that back on screen real quick. Not to mention that this deal is so big financially right now. 5 years, $62 million. What's that do for Debo? Now what's Debo going to cost? Is Debo going to be way over $100 million? I mean, how is Debo going to get signed at anything remotely close to a $60 or $70 or $80 million deal? He's not. You're going to have to extend Debo big time. So these deals, San Francisco waiting, it's going to cost them a bunch of bags of cash to be waiting on signing Debo to an extension. So then we got this piece of news here. Oh, no, that's the same thing. That's the initial report for Gallup signing. This one right here is the Cardinals are finalizing a 3-year deal with 3-time Pro Bowler Zach Ertz. That's great news for the Cardinals. It's good news for Kyler, Juicebox, Kyler Murray, who we do hope in Arizona, believe it or not. We hope he does turn things around, but in the current state of things are not looking great until Kyler can get his head on straight, because right now he's not in a good mental space. And anybody not admitting that is just being extra hopeful, which is commendable. But Kyler Murray is not in a good headspace right now. If he enters the 2022 season without fixing this mental situation, this black cloud that he's created over his head, a self-made situation, a toxic self-made environment, Kyler's going to unravel. He's going to unravel in 2022 if he doesn't self-correct, and look in the mirror and say, let me get out on the field and be a leader. The Buffalo Bills signed wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie. They agreed to a 2-year deal worth $8 million. It's a good move. He's a good little wide receiver. That's pretty much the news right now. I believe there's another piece of news dropping right now. Let me pull up the breaking news. Man, this Tom Brady stuff's got me excited. I'm excited about this. You're excited about it. I'm excited about it. Boy, there's a lot to talk about right now. Where do you guys rank Tom Brady in 2022 for fantasy football quarterbacks? Drop it in the chat. I'm curious to know where you exactly rank Tom Brady. Do you rank him in the top, I don't know, in the top what? 7, top 6 to 10? Does anybody have him in the top 6? I think the quarterbacks are too legit right now. From Trey Lance to Aaron Rodgers to even Russell Wilson to, I think, rank Tom Brady any higher than like the 6 to 10 range, but it could be anywhere in that range. It could be 6, it could be 10. I could get behind any of that. Personally, I don't think he'll be in my top 7, but that's just me. Curious to know what you guys think. Dynasty wise, look, he's as good as 1 year. Okay, so nobody get too excited about Tom Brady from a dynasty perspective. It's going to be a year-by-year type of thing, and even if he does, play more than 1 year, will he be any good in that second of the 2 years? I don't know. So Tom Brady returns. Unbelievable news. We got 177 of you in here. Please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and let's talk Tom Brady 2022. He's back. The tweet's right here. He sat around for 2 months. He twiddled his thumbs. He realized he's not good at dishes. He realizes that the trash man comes on Thursdays, and he just can't believe that that's something he now knows. They fired the maid, and Tom Brady's been vacuuming. He doesn't like any of it. He doesn't like a single bit of it. He realizes he made a mistake. He realizes that when he said a week or less before that 2021/2022 playoff loss, this past playoffs, he realized when he lost that game. But when he said beforehand, I can't imagine retiring, he made a big mistake. Detouring in a different direction and thinking differently about it, making a knee-jerk reaction. He should have did what Aaron Rodgers did, took some time. Why would you go from I can't imagine retiring right before the playoff loss to I'm retiring, and then look, he's back 2 months later. This is like the quickest turnaround we've seen in a long time. Like, this man didn't say, I think I'm going to retire, and then didn't. He literally retired, and then 2 months later realized he made one of the greatest mistakes of his life. That staying at home wasn't as awesome as he thought. That he only had 3 streaming Netflix accounts, and there are 5 of them at home trying to stream Netflix at the same time. This man realized a lot of things while he was at home. He realized that the trash goes out on Thursday. He realized he's no good at dishes. And he realized that no matter what he does, stepping away from football, he would find himself trying to embed himself in his business and brand. And he realized, I'm going to be obsessive compulsive about something, and I can't sit at home and not do this, especially when I feel like I've got 1 or 2 years. Can you imagine what this guy was thinking? Like, okay, if I regret it, I could always return. No, not really. Not at his age, approaching 68 years old. You can't just take another 2 years off and come back. This was it. He knew he had 1 more year, and what would it cost him? You know, in terms of the home life and the things that he was worried about missing out on, to go 1 more year when that's all he really knows he has left. So he's back. He's back. Yeah, Giselle might have got tired of him. She might have thought it was a good idea too. This could have been driving her crazy. Maybe she thought, I made a grave mistake. He made a grave mistake. I made a grave mistake. This man cannot wash dishes for anything. He sucks at vacuuming. He vacuums like he ran his combine 40-yard dash. He looked great, but his performances were pitiful. at the combine and at home. It was hard to predict that this man would not be good at washing dishes, doing laundry, and being a stay-at-home, lay-around on the couch kind of guy. It was hard to predict. He's great at everything, right? Wrong. This guy, he demands that he stays on the field in 2022. Let's get him out there. Attaboy. Welcome back, Thomas Brady. We're excited to have you back. Football was not the same without you for the 2 months that we talked about Aaron Rodgers over and over and over. I don't know what we were going to do with ourselves, Thomas, if you weren't going to be back here in what is it, mid-March. Mid-March. We aren't even at the NFL draft yet, and we know Tom Brady's already back in a Bucs uniform. Welcome back, Thomas. Welcome back. Appreciate you being here. 224 of you in here. Please hit the thumbs up if you're new or not new. Smash it. Pulverize it. Make that thumb up button yours. Just take control of it. Smash it. And if you're new, subscribe. We need you here. All right. 60 likes, 217 watching. Pulverize the like button, says Silver. Football is in this man. It's all this man knows. It's in his DNA. He bleeds. He probably was doing dishes, probably washing a knife that he didn't know you shouldn't rub, on the blade because the man's never washed a dish in his life. And he's washing the dishes, cut himself, and he was bleeding red blood. And he thought, that's Tampa Bay's colors. It's going in the sink. The man's bleeding Tampa Bay blood into the sink. Okay? And he realized at that moment, this is a true story, kind of. Not really. But he cut himself and realized he bleeds Tampa. He bleeds Tampa football. He jumped on a plane, flew back, and decided to make a change. Started training. He's back, baby. He's back. Thomas Brady ain't messing around. Why all the jokes with the dishes and maids? I don't know, MH. I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited that there's news going on. I'm trying to spice it up a little bit. We know that Trophy Tom, what is this? Tomboy would come back for us. Tomboy's he's trying to fill up all of his fingers. Subscribe for mock drafts, says Silver. All right, let's talk about this from a fantasy perspective. Where is he ranking? Let's go to the board. Let's go to the board. Where's Thomas ranking on the 2022 quarterback rankings? These are the potential landing spots for quarterbacks, and Tampa Bay's no longer on it. Tampa Bay's no longer in the quarterback game. Pittsburgh needs a QB. Indy still needs a QB. Detroit needs a QB. New Orleans needs a QB. Carolina, Seattle. New Orleans is probably looking like a potential landing spot for Watson, as is Carolina. These are the two front runners. New Orleans, Carolina, Deshaun Watson are all front runners. Where did I put Brady on here? I don't know if I listed Brady because we didn't think he was coming back in the next week, but he's back. Just Sherman with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy, dropping a super chat. Rank TB12 4 points versus 6 points. I don't know if it's gonna be that much different. It'll be a little bit different. I'll try and think of that when we do it. But here are the landing spots for all the quarterbacks. Let me take a photo of this so I don't because I'm gonna have to rewrite all this again. Let's go to the let's do some rankings. So 2022 QB rankings. These will be redraft. Okay? These will be redraft. So let's break it down. Number 1 is an easy call, and that's going to be Josh Allen. Number 2 is going to be Patrick Mahomes. These are pretty easy. Number 3, in my opinion, is Justin Herbert. Number 4 is Joseph Burrow. This is my prediction. You guys can drop yours in the chat and we can definitely discuss it. This is how I see the 2022 QB rankings as of this moment, post Tom Brady return to football. So we're going to get to where Tom Brady is in a second. Number 5, I think if we're ranking, we can put like no, you have a ton of different options here. Like, obviously, you could talk about Watson. Let's just put Watson here for now. In terms of where you draft, I'll talk about sleepers and guys like Kyler and guys like who are potential busts for me, and guys that are sleepers like Trey, and where you should maybe draft / rank them, because it's going to be a little different. Where you have a guy finishing is different than where you have a guy ranking. For example, I could see Trey Lance finishing right around here in terms of finishing the season. Do you rank him there? No, because I don't want people to start drafting Trey Lance as the 5th quarterback off the board. That would defeat the entire purpose of him being a breakout candidate. So Watson 5, 6, 7, and 8. To be quite honest with you, I would have Trey in this range in terms of like where I draft him, even if it's like 8. So let's just say let's do the sleeper part after. So we'll put Trey like right here. We'll put A-Rod right here. We'll put Wilson, who I think is going to have a phenomenal year in Denver, right there. Kyler, I know you're going to say, where's Kyler? Kyler is in unravel mode. Like, could Kyler finish anywhere in here? Absolutely. If he gets his head on straight. Kyler could be 5 if he had his head on straight from a fantasy football perspective. But I think Lamar, Kyler, Brady. Who am I missing here? I think that's it. Like Trevor Lawrence, obviously you could like and talk about him breaching Stafford. Whenever you forget Stafford, people get so upset. Stafford. Stafford, Hurts, kind of. Dak and Hurts. But Dak and Hurts are like right here. Dak you could put up here at the bottom of this list. I think he's right around 10, 11-ish. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. So many people are going to be upset because I don't have Lamar here and I have Wilson here. So many people are going to be upset that Dak's here and not talked about with Lamar and Kyler. But to be honest with you, these quarterbacks right here feel like you could put them in a blender, mix it up, and the order could come out in any which way. I personally think Trey Lance, as bold as this is very low as to where he could finish. I believe Trey Lance could finish right where Watson is. But Watson, even being out of football, feels 5 overall-ish. A-Rod, even though he's getting a year older, I think they bring in another wide receiver. He feels really safe at that 5 to 7 range. Russell Wilson is going to have some amazing success in Denver with one of the best running backs in the entire National Football League, and a running back that I think in Javonte Williams is going to be the number 2 or number 3 running back in all of fantasy football. So that's how I feel about the quarterbacks moving forward. Again, this is in no particular order right here. No order. So don't freak out and get all upset on me when you see these quarterbacks here in a weird order. Kyler could be 8 or 9 or 10. Lamar could be. And I understand the love people have for Lamar. I understand it. But guess what? Lamar has struggled in back-to-back seasons now. Lamar Jackson vanished for the entire 2020 season. The first half of the 2020 season, he was non-existent. He was benchable. You could literally bench this man. Lamar Jackson was that much of a missing in action type of fantasy football quarterback in 2020. Herbert, his rookie year, it was like people own Lamar and Herbert side by side in 2020. Literally said, do I start this man? Do I put Herbert in, a rookie, or do I go with Lamar Jackson? And people continued to keep faith in Lamar Jackson when there was no signs of Lamar Jackson. Hold on, little Smitty's here to say goodnight. Little Smitty, come here. Come here. No, we're live. Little Brady's back. Brady's back. Woo! All right. There you go. Okay, where were we at? Brady's back. We're at quarterbacks. A-Rod, Wilson, Trey. I love them all. Tell me where you think I'm off on these rankings. It's okay to feel differently. It's okay if you think I'm too low on Aaron Rodgers. It's okay if you think Trey's too high even here, even though I quietly, guess what? I quietly like him finishing at 5 or 6. At me if you want. At me if you want. This is what fantasy football is about, predicting. Did people think Herbert was going to be the number 2 quarterback last year? No, we got ripped apart for saying Herbert was a top 3 guy. When we said Joe Burrow was going to be as good as Joe Burrow was going to be. When we said Mahomes, the year Mahomes was a sophomore. No, people got upset. Josh Allen, this was laughable 2 years ago when we were talking this up. Josh Allen, let me give his name the correct craftsmanship. There we go. Josh Allen. People made fun of this. Now look where Josh Allen is, okay? Trey Lance, in my opinion, is the next one of these boys right here. He's going to live and have cups of coffee with the big dogs. And let's get Watson in there. Trey Lance is the one quarterback on this entire right side that has the ability to dance with these big boys all year long. Get ready for it. Doubt it all you want. I'm fine with it. I respect your opinion. But I'm telling you, Trey Lance is on his way. He's on his way to sit at the big boy table. Maybe it takes him a few weeks. Maybe it doesn't. I wouldn't be shocked if this man looked phenomenal right out of the gate. The question is, where's Brady? Is Brady too low right here in this 9 to 12 group of quarterbacks? Does anybody feel like Brady should be where Russell Wilson is? Does anybody think that Lamar needs to be where Russell Wilson is? Am I off base by keeping Lamar and Kyler, who's going through a meltdown right now in Arizona? And I'm in Arizona. I can speak to it with authority. I can tell you the pulse of the Cardinal fan base as a whole. Not very happy with Kyler Murray right now. His teammates are not happy with him. His isolation tactics, the way he's carrying himself, how he's complaining and threatening with letters that he's not going to play football if he doesn't get an extension, in so many words. I can tell you right now that there's a lot of worry around this guy's season, Kyler Murray, in 2022. Lamar Jackson, as I was saying earlier, Lamar literally fell off the face of the earth for half of a season in 2020. And it was better to start a rookie like Herbert in 2020 in the beginning of the year than start Lamar. And then last year, he got hurt, but he also had some games that were not real reliable. And so for me, I'm worried about this man. I am worried about this man. Where were we at? I don't know. I'm going to go to the comments. What's up, media? What's going on, Doug? Brady 9 to 12, respectfully. Brady 9 to 12. Oh, is disrespectful. Brady 9 to 12 is disrespectful. Well, Jamie, tell me what you would do differently, because to be honest with you, I'm okay with you ranking him higher. Like, you may not be okay with me not ranking him higher, but I'm actually okay with you ranking him higher. This is a two-way road, bro. This is a two-way road. How come you're not okay with me? How come you're not okay with my ranking, Jamie? I'm okay with your ranking. I think you could put Brady at 6, 7, or 8. But what about Lamar? What about Kyler? What about Trey? What about Wilson? What about A-Rod? It's not as easy to just shove Brady at number 6, bro. Because then you're knocking other players that you could have 4 or 5 people in here going, oh, God, A-Rod below Brady's disrespectful. Oh, Trey and Wilson below Brady's disrespectful. You know what I mean? I respect your take. I'm just saying it's pretty easy to have these in different places. Watson should be placed at the spa. Well, Doug, what's that even mean, bro? Brady isn't the GOAT, says Doug. Doug, you are in the wrong place, bro. You're in the wrong. Read the room, Doug. Doug, read the room, Doug. I don't think you've read the room, Doug. I don't think you have. Watson not going off in Houston. He's not playing in Houston. He's not playing in Houston. Watson will be traded for sure. Watson's on his way to either Carolina or to New Orleans right now, I think, to meet with the organization to finalize the trade offers that are on the table, because there are 2 trade offers on the table, one from the Saints, one from the Carolina Panthers. I believe the Seahawks might toss out an offer as well, and he might meet with the Seahawks. But we're talking about this man, Watson, playing football in 2022 for another team. He is not, Spacula, playing in Houston in 2022. He's not. He's being traded. He's being traded. Clark says, let me get this music cued because it's like playing. Hold on. Let me close that out. Let's see. Now when I switch, good. Okay, music's good. Damn straight, the shoe fits, wear it, respect to everyone's opinions. That's what I'm talking about, Miley. Watson not choosing the Panthers. He has no trade clause. He has a no trade clause. He's flying out to meet him, though, Jose. So why would he not be contemplating it? If he didn't want him, he wouldn't fly out there. He's going to meet with the Carolina Panthers. Plus, it's very close to where he's from. New Orleans and Carolina geographically are probably the two top options for him because it's close to home for him. It's close to where he went to school. Like it's homegrown. It's back to the roots. It's getting away from the drama and craziness that's been consuming his life. So if you think about it from a geographical and emotional perspective, New Orleans and Carolina are the only choices. If you think about it from a weapons perspective, Seattle is probably one of the better options because he's never had wide receivers to the tune of a DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So we can make arguments all over the place. Spacula says, like and subscribe. We've got a lot of new people in here. Please hit the like button, but more importantly, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a live stream. I literally go live the moment big news breaks. I'm on here within 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes sooner, sometimes it's like 5 minutes, okay? But like 1 to 5 minutes. 1 to 5 minutes. I'm on here live. And if you don't hit subscribe, how are you going to find me when the next domino drops, when Watson's traded? Maybe a deal gets done tonight. Can you imagine? Or tomorrow. Can you imagine? I think by Wednesday, Watson will be with another team. I think it happens fast. You know why I think it happens fast? Let's break this down from a psychological perspective. Your boy Smitty incorporates psychology into everything we do here on the Fantasy Football Show. Okay, so let's incorporate some psychology. Let's read some minds here. Let's break down some personalities. Let's break down some situations. Let's go through it. Deshaun Watson has been through double hockey stick hell, okay? This man has been through the ringer, okay? Whether he's guilty or innocent, doesn't matter. He's still been through the ringer, okay? Emotional stress. Do you think he wants to drag it out? The answer is no. He wants to be gone, and he wants to just like press the button and have it all behind him. Get out of Houston that's been holding him down. That's why the man's jumping on planes and going and meeting with the two potential, as of this moment, the top two options, Carolina and New Orleans. Carolina is the front runner right now. New Orleans is in the mix too. And then Seattle would probably be third as of this moment. Tampa was a thought, but that's off the board now. Watson is literally wanting this thing to be done now. So if you think that Watson's not going to click the button a little quicker and execute a trade, I think you don't understand how much pressure he's been under and how he wants to put this thing to bed immediately. So I believe Watson will move quickly. I don't think he's going to say, like, think about it. You got an offer. You're about to close the book and move on this chapter of your life that's been a nightmare in Houston. And yet you're going to go, nah, I'm going to go explore over here for a while. This man's afraid that Houston's not going to approve a trade too, because he has a no trade clause, but Houston can ultimately say, we're not doing that deal. And you know that's going to be a frustrating situation for Watson. I do believe all the teams in play want him so bad, they will go into a bidding war and overpay the minimum amount that the Texans want, so it shouldn't be a problem in the end. But Watson doesn't want to linger around and let Houston potentially ruin this for him. I really believe he's going to act quickly. I think by Wednesday, he'll be on a new team. I think by Wednesday, he'll be either a Carolina Panther, a New Orleans Saint, a Seattle Seahawk. I don't think Cleveland's in the mix. Indy can't be because Indy's in the same division. That's not going to happen. Houston's not going to trade to him. Arizona's out because apparently Kingsbury doesn't want to make an attempt and do what the fan base has been asking for and begging for over a year. The Arizona Cardinal fan base, and I'm in Arizona, has been spreading rampant rumors all over for over a year now, all over local radio, all over all the local online publications. Trade Kyler in a first rounder. Yes, we'd have to give up more because Watson's a beast. Watson's a seasoned player that can win and win you a championship. Kyler's not there yet. Could Kyler get there? Yes, if Kyler turned around his headspace and started going back in the right direction, which he hasn't done yet. But Watson, we give up a first rounder and Kyler for Watson. We haven't heard Kingsbury at all. This is what the fan base has been calling for over a year. But Kingsbury, who just got his fat extension, Keim, who just got his fat extension, they're saying no to Kyler, which I understand and I agree with because he needs to prove leadership before he gets his extension. But they're just pouring salt on the wound by taking extensions right in front of this man while they're in the middle of telling Kyler no, and then they're doing nothing about shopping him. They're not trying to upgrade him. I don't want to trade him unless we upgrade him. But guess what? Watson's twice the quarterback he is on the field. Watson is twice the quarterback and leader that Kyler Murray is on the field and in the locker room. You can talk about all the off-the-field distractions and the risk, but what about the risk of holding on to Kyler as he implodes? The risk of holding on to Kyler, who could quit and go try and play baseball, whether it's successful or not. I'm not saying he makes it in the baseball environment. I'm saying he might try it. He might walk away. He might try and do them side by side and distract himself further. Has anybody thought of that? That's something that Kyler might be looking to do now. Play baseball and football like Bo Jackson, but he's not Bo Jackson. He's nowhere near Bo Jackson. But I think he might try and do that and distract himself further. I don't want that. I want Watson. I would take on Watson's distractions because they're all civil at this point over Kyler's distractions. If anybody can't understand that, then look at what Kyler's really been doing the last couple months. It's bad. It's bad. His teammates feel that way about him. His teammates don't know if they want him on the roster comparatively to a guy like Watson. So trade him away. Trade him away. Trade him away. These are our rankings for 2022 redraft fantasy football quarterbacks. I know Lamar and Kyler and Brady and Hurts and Dak and Stafford are all kind of in this bucket of no particular order. But Trey, I believe, will actually be as good as these five at times and finish around the 5 to 6 range. A-Rod will be 5 to 7. Wilson will be 5 to 7. And I think, yeah, one of these guys, Lamar or Kyler or Dak or Stafford, could also be in that range too. It's a tough thing to do is rank quarterbacks walking into 2022 because they're a very, very close group once you get past the top 4 or 5. So there you go. There you go. This is no longer a Tampa Bay stream. It's a Watson one. It's both, Jose. It's both. It's everything. This is the fantasy football show, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, podcast. So, of course, you're going to get Watson. We're going to move on, Jose, from topic to topic. Read the room, Jose. Jose.
Take a look.
Read the room, Jose. Read the room. Watson is special. That is correct. Silver's laughing. Jimmy G is not awful. Oh, come on, 49er media. Would you let go of the Jimmy G stuff? He's Jimmy G. Let me just tell you this, media. Get ready, okay? Buckle up. Get ready, media. You ready? I hope you're sitting down. Jimmy G, there are 6 to 7 teams that need a quarterback right now. I could go out and find 7 quarterbacks easily that are better than Jimmy G by looking at 2, maybe 3, but we'll even call it 2 rookie quarterbacks. 2 rookie quarterbacks. I could go out and find 4 or 5 players that are currently available very cheaply via trade like Tyrod Taylor, or available like Minshew or Winston. Easily. Jimmy G at best is the 33rd best quarterback in the NFL. Jimmy G is at, let me repeat that for media who's in the back. Media, Jimmy G is at best the 33rd best quarterback in the National Football League, media. If that's not trash, I don't know what is. Okay? Is he a good leader in the locker room? I don't even know I can admit that anymore. Because you know what? A lot of good points have been made about how there's this narrative that Jimmy G is just the best locker room guy, he's the best leader and all that. But you know what? There have been a lot of people that in Twitter Spaces have said a bunch of very, very accurate things. Like when Jimmy G is injured and not necessarily telling everybody that he's hurt and he's playing hurt. Jimmy G throws a pick and smiles about it. Jimmy G never says, I need to get better. I need to do this. Jimmy G says, we need to do this. We need to do this better. So I get maybe he's a potential positive role model. If you're looking at quarterbacks, he's not up to no good necessarily. So yeah, you have that character, I guess, argument. But is he a good leader? I go back and forth on it because this man would literally grin after throwing an INT. He would literally smile up at the podium after a big loss, a big L. He'd literally sit at the podium and just be grinning. And it's like, Jimmy G, you just lost a game. And he's like, we lost the game. We did this. We did that. Better leader than Juicebox Kyler? Of course, media. Do you think you're shocking me right now with this statement? I love when I go at a person's quarterback. And media, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you. But you bring this up as if you're not going to get lambasted about it. Okay? Every time you bring it up like you're not going to get lambasted. I'm not going to hold back just because I appreciate you, media. You bring this Jimmy G crap into the live stream all the time. And it's like the dude's the 33rd at best quarterback in the NFL. And you can, and whenever you go after someone like that, the immediate response is better than Kyler. Like, I rip on Kyler all the time. Why am I going to defend Kyler? I'm not going to defend Kyler. This has nothing to do with Kyler. This has to do with Jimmy G being, at best, the 33rd best quarterback in the NFL. That's what this has to do with, Jimmy G. Not Kyler. I just ripped on Kyler for a good 5-10 minutes. Was that not enough for you, media? I already ripped on my own quarterback. I took away all your ammunition already. You can't come at me with Kyler. I already did the damage. What's up, Brazil? We got yo. Cheers from Brazil, bro. Brady is back. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's do it. He's serviceable in most leagues. He's serviceable in most leagues. Serviceable. Who wants a serviceable quarterback? I hear that from people. He can move the ball a little bit, and I appreciate your take. I'm just saying in general. He can move the football. He can throw it 10 yards down the field. Jimmy G has 4 throws. He literally has 4 throws. And he's not a proven winner. The Niners are proven winners. Jimmy G is being carried. Jimmy G, we don't know what Jimmy G really looks like when the lights come on. We don't know if Jimmy G is the same player when you remove him from that scheme in San Francisco, but we're about to find out. Not to mention, for everybody that's trying to defend Jimmy G being worth starting on an NFL team, the guy was garbage. QBR of like 2 in the playoffs. Somewhere around that range. QBR of 2 or negative. This guy is horrible in the playoffs. Absolute garbage. And it's like 27 to 28 turnovers in 2022. I believe he didn't even have, he had like a 1-to-1 rate. He had 7 or 28 touchdowns, correct me if I'm wrong, and like 27 or 28 turnovers. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Jimmy G is not a good quarterback. Jimmy G's not even a moderately good quarterback. Jimmy G got carried by the 49ers, and the 49ers lost because of Jimmy G. They lost also in that game because of Shanahan using Debo, giving him 1 touch in the second half. But Jimmy G is absolutely not a starting caliber quarterback, in my opinion, even if he lands a job. What's going to be funny is when he lands a job, how many are going to come in and go, oh, he's not a starting quarterback, then why did the Colts trade for him? Because the Colts are going down yet another road that they shouldn't be going down, Bob. Just because a team believes in a player, Bob, doesn't mean he's going to be a good player, Bob. Enough Jimmy G, media. Enough Jimmy G. Leave him out of it. Okay? He doesn't belong in the chat. I spent enough on Jimmy G. He shouldn't command this much of the show. Patriots had it right. Jimmy G is a backup. That's right, Cliff. Thank you. Jimmy G is comparable to Dak. How dare you? How dare you speak of Dak as such? What did Dak do to you? What did Dak do to you? I love when someone says he's a proven winner, like the Niners don't have a top 5 offense and nothing but weapons. It's, he's like if you put a, I guess Swaggy's trying to say Dak is overrated. Okay, I understand that if you want to say Dak is overrated, but Dak is 10 times the quarterback Jimmy G is. As much as we worry about Dak getting back to form, let's keep in mind Dak was like on pace to be like a top 1 to 4 quarterback before he suffered the ankle injury and literally came back and had one more year to try and like get better and get right. So let's be real. The Dak deserves a little bit of wiggle room to now come off of one full year playing on that literally broken in half ankle. Literally, it broke on both sides. I don't even know what was holding the ankle together. When this man broke his ankle, he literally broke everything. And I believe the only thing holding his ankle and foot together were probably the ligaments that were still attached and blood vessels and everything. This man broke this side. They had to literally replace his whole ankle. And there's like a plate on one side. It was bad. It was brutal. So I think he deserves a little bit of slack. Mac is a gamer. I'd take Mac over Jimmy in a heartbeat. Let's stop talking about Jimmy. He isn't worth, like, I appreciate the man and the character of the guy, let's say, but I'm tired of talking about. He doesn't deserve to be talked about. He's not a starting caliber quarterback. Trubisky, I'd rather have Trubisky than Jimmy. Yeah. Tom Brady is the GOAT for his brain. Do it, Jose. Attaboy. Andrew Luck coming out of retirement next. You know what's funny? I'm not trying to predict that this is going to happen. I'm not saying that. But let me show you something. You want to know what's funny? Look at this right here. Look at this. I don't think you're going to believe this when you see it. I think this is going to blow your mind. Where is it? I guess it's going to blow your mind right here. Ready? Here we go. Guess how old Andrew Luck is. 32 years old. Andrew Luck, everybody makes fun of him coming back. Now, granted, he's probably rusty. I'm not saying he'll come back or he ever will or he'll be successful. But this man's 32 years old. Russell Wilson's older than him, I believe, by a little bit. 32 years old. Andrew Luck is 32 years old. If he wanted to come back, he could literally play another 8 years before he started to drop completely off. Or at least 7. Like that's a long time to be out of football and literally could come back for 7. Now, I don't know if he'd be, rusty or ever return to form. I'd like to think he's better than the 7 options that will be inserted into the teams that need quarterbacks right now. So if he did want to come back, can you imagine what would happen if this man decided to come back, what our offseason would look like? But it's unbelievable when you look at his age, 32 years old. It seems like he'd be like 40 by the way people talk about how long ago he stepped away and, will he ever return? Oh, it's a joke. He can't return. He's been retired for, he's 32 years old. Tom Brady's, 75? The Bears signed Peters at 39. Someone would jump at Luck. Absolutely. If he wanted to return. Body of a 52-year-old, says Force. Talking about Luck, Colts looking for a QB. You know what? They would take him back. They would take him back after the debacle they had. Doug, you are just a ray of sunshine on this channel. Why are you talking about Brady cheating on 5 Super Bowls? I don't know what you're talking about, Doug, but you are a ray of sunshine. Doug, I would hug you if you needed one. Just letting you know. turn you into a super fan eventually. I think we could turn you into a super fan. We're gonna attack Doug with kindness. Doug, we're gonna get you on board. Mac threw the ball twice in a game against the Bills twice. Tim, twice, not completions, attempts. That was probably one of the coldest games, Jose. I don't think you could have thrown a water bottle 4 feet in that wind and snow, bro. So let's understand the assignment though during that game. Mac Jones, you're talking about brutal weather that no one could throw the football in, bro. That weather was awful, and Bill Belichick called a game where he would run the ball. So let's not blame Mac on that too much. That was a crazy circumstance. It was unbelievable, Jose. I'll give you that. To win a game that way was crazy. Brady will be number 3 in fantasy just like last year. Wouldn't be crazy, Chris. Wouldn't be crazy. Wouldn't be crazy at all. Need a hug, Dougie, says Silver. Debo, that like button, you all, please hit the like button on your way in the door. 140 you in here. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Punch the like button, whether you're new or not new. Doesn't matter. By the way, that during this Super Bowl windy game, and I appreciate that super chat, Chris. I really do. Thank you. Even Tom. By the way, here's the super chatter of the year so far. We reset it, and this is the top super chatter, Richard, with the Hyundai the other night. So thank you, Richard. It was smart to win that game. It was. Chargers' recent moves look good. Yeah, I like the retaining of. I mean, like, first of all, Khalil Mack in a Charger uniform does so many things. Obviously improves the defense, but it helps ball movement. It helps field position. And Herbert in better field position. Are you out of your minds? This is going to be a phenomenal year for Herbert. He could be the number 2. Wouldn't shock me if Herbert was the number 1 quarterback in all of 2022 fantasy football. Wouldn't shock me if Herbert literally had such a good year that he finishes number 1 in fantasy football quarterback rankings. I'm not saying I'm ranking him there. I'm saying it would shock me none if this man finished as the number 1 quarterback in 2022. He was the number 2 last year. So Herbert's the GOAT. He'll punch you in the throat. I mean, it's just that simple. Where was I at? Super chat of the year. So far, Spatula, I'm pretty sure it's going to get beat, but right now Richard's got the top spot with a $100 bill that he dropped the other night. So we reset it each year, and we just want to keep that little sucker right in the corner because he deserves our respect. Herbie could have beaten Burrow. Herbie's gonna be good. Wilson at 7. What? Says Sebastian. What? You don't like Wilson in Denver? I take it. Scoring position. Good defense. Best running back in football aside from Jonathan Taylor. Kirk Cousins. What is this? Mike says here, Kirk Cousins has the offense to win a Super Bowl. They need a better offensive coordinator. And Matt says, no, Mike. Kirk sucks, says Jake. Sorry, not Matt. Jake. Mike Wood. They now have won. What's Brady's last? What is this? What's Brady's last name? What? I don't know what you're saying. Josh Allen is coming for blood next season. Absolutely, Swaggy. Absolutely. Denver, number 3, D will get Wilson a lot of more chances. That's what I'm saying, Cliff. I think the field position for the Broncos and all the weapons he has. Like, yeah, DK. Look, DK and Lockett are good, but for somebody to say that Judy can't be as good as DK is crazy, because Judy's a top 5 route runner in the NFL. He's a top 5 route runner in the NFL. And you give a top 5 route runner a very well-thrown football on the regular, you're about to see what Judy's capable of. He's just got to stay healthy. If he can't, Sutton will step up. KJ Hamler is my dark horse wide receiver on this Denver Bronco roster. I love KJ Hamler. You've got You've got Albert O, everybody's kind of excited about at tight end. And then you have literally this guy named Javonte Williams. I don't care if Melvin Gordon returns or not. They were sharing carries a lot more last year because they wanted to keep Javonte fresh, because what were they playing for? What were they fighting for? Why put mileage on the tires? But Javonte's literally, in my opinion, the top 2 to 3 running back in the NFL, and he can pull in passes. He could pull in 80 receptions. And I know Wilson typically threw about 37 or so to Carson when Carson was in his prime, but Javonte's a better pass catcher. Javonte is utilized differently in the Denver offense than the running backs are used receiving wise in the Seattle offense. So expect Wilson to do some things he normally doesn't do, like throw to his running backs more. Wilson's going to be very efficient. It's going to be a good year. This is not crazy to me to have Wilson number 7. Wilson's always had top 5 quarterback appeal. He always has. Always. Nicholas says, I think Brady's washed. He looked pretty bad last season. Bro, Brady... oh, God. While I'm finding this, I'm going to send y'all that.
Take a look.
While I sent you on that lap, I've been trying to find Brady's stats because you're going to make me pull it up, aren't you? You're going to make me pull up these stats, aren't you? Fantasy Football 2021. This is last year. Tom Brady, number 3. 496 points. Okay? Third. Looked bad last year, did he? 53-16, 43 touchdown passes, 12 INTs. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Can someone answer this? Where was that comment? Where was that comment? Where was it? It was, who said it? Who said it? Who is the guilty culprit? Well, who was it? I'm looking for it. Where's that comment? Darn it. Is it Nicholas? I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Nicholas. Nicholas says, I think Brady's washed. He looked pretty bad last year. Nicholas, come on, bro. Look at this, Nicholas. Third, bro. 53-16, 43 touchdowns. Nicholas, please step forward. Please step forward. Where's my fantasy court? Where's my fantasy court?
It's time for fantasy football. Court!
Court is in session. Nicholas, please step forward to receive your lambasting or lambasting, however you'd like to say the word. We use it here on the show. Nicholas, step forward. Where are you? Nicholas, you have used Tom Brady's name in a very reckless fashion, suggesting that this man was washed and did not look good last year in 2021. However, the evidence is overwhelming that Tom Brady, at number 3 overall, with a 53-16 yardage total, 43 TDs to 12 interceptions. What do you have to say for yourself, Nicholas? Nicholas is here. Look, hey, Nicholas is a man of his opinions, and he steps in. And Silver, hit that, please. A man of his I guess his word. So I'm waiting for Nicholas's explanation. Go ahead and tell us what you're thinking while we have these bots coming in here. Silver's already on top of it. Silver's already taking care of it. So you don't mess with Silver. He's the bounce. Him and Terry are bouncers here and they take care of stuff real quick. Where are we at? We're waiting upon Nicholas's response. He's in court right now. Evidence is completely overwhelming. I'm a totally biased judge because I've already made my determination. Nicholas is going on a lap. He's going to take another lap. We've got the, what do you call this? Mallet? What is it? Gavel. We got the gavel ready. Nicholas. He's typing slow. While we await Nicholas, Jake, Kupp has torn his ACL and sprained ankles. Assuming we can predict he's healthy, then he's capable. I don't know what you guys are arguing about, Cooper Kupp or whatever. Cooper Kupp is going to be fired in 2022. Here's Nicholas. I just think stats don't really matter. Okay. Nicholas, do you mind if I send you on one more lap? Just for argument's sake. Okay, you're going on one more lap, pal.
Take a look.
Nicholas, I appreciate you. I hope that did not make you run for the hills. We still love differing opinions here, so hopefully you're a good sport about that. I believe you are, based on the fact that you're still here. So Nicholas, everybody give Nicholas a round of applause for taking that like a good sport. Okay, you're still wrong, but that's okay, Nicholas. That's why we play the game. Okay, anything can happen, but that. Everybody's opinion matters, but that one. Just kidding, Nicholas. Kinda. Okay, Brady is back and Brady's ready, says Luke. Brady isn't having Nicholas's back talk right now. He doesn't like it. Philip says take a lap. Mike's laughing. Everybody's cheering. Rewind says stats don't matter. One more lap for good measure. That's what the wording I was trying to look for. Thank you, Nicholas, for being a good sport. Okay. Boy, what do we do from here? Nicholas says, nah, Brady's the GOAT. I was messing around. Oh, sure, Nicholas. Sure. Likely story, Nicholas. Brady is still the best for now, says Quest. So where's Watson going? Let's put that on screen and talk about that real quickly. Deshaun Watson, where's that graphic? Where is Deshaun Watson going, people? Currently, I'll just put that right there. Currently, Deshaun Watson is, I believe, either on his way or he's already in one of the states that he's potentially looking to play for. He may or may not be in New Orleans right now or in Carolina, but obviously he's headed that direction to interview or to talk with both clubs because he wants to play there. Corey says he loves, or where was it? Love this channel. Can you give KP a shout out? Who's KP? Who's KP? I don't know who KP is, Corey, but let's do it. Hey, KP. Hey, KP. This message is from Corey.
Take a look.
There you go, KP. Hope you enjoyed that one. Patrick Mahomes will retire before Tom Brady. That's not bold. That's not bold stuff right there. If it wasn't for the change of regime in Miami, I'd say they would. Yeah, I would like to see Watson in Miami. That'd be pretty good. James says Watson to Seattle. Pete Carroll needs a QB now. I think it's a top dog option, right? It's one of the top 3 or 4 leaders, but But, I mean, we're not hearing that they're making an offer. Carolina and New Orleans have both made strong offers that I hear. Word on the street. I do have some connections, people. Word on the street is that the offers are very, very close to or at the level of asking price by the Texans. So we're talking about 3 first-rounders or 2 first-rounders and some potential draft capital along with players. But word is that both Carolina and New Orleans aren't messing around. They're trying to extend offers that will just get accepted, you know. And like I said earlier, Watson going through everything he's gone through, if he's impressed at all with his first landing spot, let's see he flies to Carolina and they give him the meanest steak dinner he's ever had. I mean, they put they put like a 40 ounce filet mignon, right? If they even make those that big, right in front of him, with like 3 loaded baked potatoes with sour cream, cheese, and bacon. God, I'm hungry. Mushrooms in a big bowl, just a big bowl of mushrooms, a salad with ranch. I'm just giving you everything that I want to eat right now because I'm in a middle of a fasting state. So I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hangry. I'm hangry. I'm a little hangry lately, if you've noticed. If they feed this man and wine and dine him, I wouldn't be shocked if he literally says this is where I want to go and calls off all other meetings. Like, he wants to get out of Houston and do it fast. He wants this over. He doesn't want to go through this like 2-week period of dancing around the country when Houston's super capable, in his mind at least, of screwing him here. You know, like, he just wants to get away from it. And I believe he's gonna not rush it, but move quickly. And maybe he picks the right spot still. What's up, Sal? I'd sign for that dinner, says Sad. Can you imagine a 40-ounce filet mignon? Man. Broncos fans still pissed. That's probably true. Have a little bit of fat food, Smitty. I kind of want to order something nice tonight. Like maybe a steak sandwich. Let's see if Miss Smitty wants a steak sandwich. Hold on. How does a steak sandwich sound? Steak sand? I think we might do that. We might do that steak sandwich. I could go with them. Yeah, I've got some Mexican Cokes in the kitchen. I got a whole case of them. I've drank a couple of them. I'm not gonna lie. During this fasting period, they've tasted so good. Going down the hatch, man. Pop off the cap. Mexican Coke, so much better than an American Coke because the Mexican Coke is made with real sugar, and dropping those down the old esophagus, man, it burns a little bit more than it did because I have been drinking a lot of Coke. Cheesesteak, not the same as a steak. Not the same as a steak. A steak sandwich, like literally like a New York steak on bread, bro, is what I'm talking about right now. Did they re-sign Gronk? I don't think yet, but you can bet Gronk is back in the car, headed toward Tampa Bay as we speak. Gronk will be a buck. Gronk will be a buck. You watch. I almost don't even think that's like a bold statement. I think that's just fact. Kirk Cousins, a 1-year. Vikings gave Kirk Cousins a 1-year, fully guaranteed $35 million extension per source. He will make $40 million this year and $30 million next year. God. Are you out of your minds, Vikings? Are you out of your minds? Deal has 2 voidable years in it to lower his cap number this year to $31.25 million. $15 million of the deal will be paid by this time next year. That's an insane deal. Wow. That is crazy. Look at this. I'm going to put this on screen here. What are the Vikings? I mean, I know they're trying to make it friendly. I get it. They're trying to make it cap friendly. But just when you map out the contract and you look at what's taking place here, Kirk Cousins is, the Vikings gave him a 1-year, fully guaranteed $35 million extension per source. He will make $40 million this year and $30 million next year. Kirk Cousins is making $70 million in the next 2 seasons. And they're making voidable years on it. I mean, think about what this is saying. We're giving you $70 million, but we want to make sure we can get out of this later and make it voidable after we pay you $70 million because we don't trust you, because we don't necessarily believe you're worth that anymore. But let's give them a $35 million extension. You know, I know it's moving money around. I get that, but goodness gracious, man. I don't know if this is to move them. I don't know if they're trying to get Watson and they want to move him. And I don't understand necessarily if that's what's at play. Doesn't sound like it. Bruce Arians on Tom Brady coming out of retirement. Here's Bruce Arians and what he's saying about this situation. So you guys want to hear it from the man himself, the guy that will slap a helmet without a second thought. This is back Tom Brady. Bruce Arians on Tom Brady coming out of retirement. He says, quote unquote, total excitement. So get ready. Get ready for Thomas Brady. He's back, baby. He's back. It means they won't get Watson. Watson is looking like the best QB in the league until this stuff happens. So we don't know how he's going to play. He could be rusty. He could get hurt. Who knows? That's true, Mike. Mike, you don't really know. They extend him to get space. I know that. I'm just saying when you're giving somebody $70 million in the next 2 years, it's just laughable. Kirk Cousins is not worth $70 million. He's probably worth like $8 million a year. What were Arians' choices if Brady didn't return? He apparently didn't want Winston, so I don't know. Rookie? I don't know if he was going to go with a rookie. I don't know if he was going to try and bring in I don't know. I don't know what they were going to do. It's actually kind of crazy to think about because they weren't a team that we felt like we had a good pulse on what they were going to do because they literally, it didn't sound like they were going after Watson pretty hard. It didn't sound like they were interested in Winston. Who knows what they would have done. Wow. Zach Ertz, like I said, signed with the Cardinals again, which is good. He wanted Baker. Who wanted Baker? Arians? Oh, God. That would have been a disaster. He's going to be 45. He's already won seven Super Bowls, more than any player will ever win, and I dare say our lifetime. Why continue? Because when you do something to an extreme degree, when you are obsessed in you know, like I think of it like me walking away from like the show. Like I may like get to a point like someday where I'm like, I don't know that my body can handle the grind that takes place with something like what I do. But the moment I stepped away, what would I do? What would I do? What would I do? What would I even do? Would I read? I mean, would I do puzzles? Like, what on earth could I do other than what I do? I don't know. Like, Tom Brady didn't think it through. And he thought, I'm going to go home. I'm going to do dishes. I'm going to try this vacuuming thing. And he probably realized he was no good at any of it. And this is the greatest. This is the GOAT. And he literally is unable to live that kind of. This guy couldn't sit at home twiddling his thumbs. Easily, writing was on the wall. This is so easy to predict. I was getting in an argument with people in comments today on my Instagram about Brady's not coming back. They said, you watch, he's not coming back. That was today. The rumor was that Tampa Bay was interested in Baker if Tom retired. I believe that rumor. I just think it would have been an awful mistake. Bruce Wayne says no shot. I don't know what he's referring to. You'd play fantasy. That's true. It's true. Cousins is in the middle of the pack quarterback. He's not a difference maker. I agree with that. Breaking news: Batman got Watson to play for Gotham. Like, hey, the Batman, by the way, was a good movie. I went to the Batman last night, and I was praying to God that no breaking news would happen while I was in the movie, and nothing happened. So it was a good. I kept checking though during the movie. I'm not gonna lie, just to make sure I wasn't, sleeping at the wheel while Tom Brady return news broke or something. So Brady gave hints that he wanted to come back. Absolutely. Vikings could have picked up Joe on the street and saved a ton of cap space. It was going to be Trask, or maybe Trask was going to start. Kirk Cousins will never get you anywhere. I agree for the most part. I think he's good enough for Jefferson to be fine. Smitty is the new quarterback of the Texans. Sign me up, Doug. See, Doug and I are getting along already. We're good. We're good. I was waiting for your Batman review. Okay, so here's my review on Batman, on the Batman. It's very different than the other Batmans. The Dark Knight series, I venture to say, is never going to be beaten. Okay? Very different vibe, very different movie. It's kind of like, you got to almost look at it like it's just a new series. Like, you can't compare the Dark Knight to the Batman. The Batman's done in a very good, dark way. It's like a darker attempt. The Dark Knight series is more like a James Bond kind of feel to it, where it's like there's this really smooth Bruce Wayne that has all these toys and gadgets and uses his mind to outthink people, and it's like it's like 007 meets Mission Impossible meets Batman. Like, that's how the Dark Knight series feels. The Batman is more like I don't want to say there's more like theatrics to it, or theater. It's more of a raw, like still trying to find himself type of Batman. Like, he's not at that same level of charisma and stuff, but it's just like a darker version of it. I really liked it. It was good. I'm very much looking forward to the next one and see how far they take it. If it's 3 or 4 Batmans, I really, really do like it. It's good. It's not comparable. The Dark Knight is the best. Juju will probably end up with the Bears, says Clan. I don't care where Juju plays. He's a distraction at this point, in my opinion. I wouldn't want him. I'd rather have a Christian Kirk. If I'm another team bringing in a receiver, I'd rather have a plethora of other wide receivers. Juju feels like a distraction. His mind isn't all in football, and I don't want him dancing around the locker room and just being a distraction. I just don't like it. It's not my style. Like, I wouldn't bring in a player that's literally focused on extra curricular activities versus football and getting to the level he was going to get to. Like, this dude had top 10 wide receiver potential, and now it's just like laughable when you think about Juju having that kind of upside. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best, pal. Brenda's thrilled. Avocado. Futures are back up. Attaboy. Cliff, aren't you worried about your defense? Says rewind, hoping Chark or Kirk to the Bears. I think one of those guys could go to the Bears. I think Kirk could be a Bear, although he might cost a lot, so we'll see. Maybe Kirk would go to the Bears. Yes, maybe. Send Juju and Cooper to the Bucks with Brady, Evans, Godwin. Why? Like, why? No, keep Juju away. Plus, the trade just happened. What are you talking about, bro? All right, I better go. We're going to eat dinner. Appreciate all of you. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Subscribe to the channel. This is your new home. I appreciate you. And we're going to attack all this. Whenever news breaks, I go live. Okay? So if it's big news, like if Christian Kirk signs tonight, I may go live. I probably will. But it's like anything relatively big. Khalil Mack went live. Tom Brady went live. Watson news went live. In any new Watson news brews, like there's a potential strong interest, I'm going live. So if you're not subscribed, you will miss out. Appreciate everybody here. I will see you later. Leave a comment. There's 103 of you in here right now. Leave a comment as I bail from this live stream. I will continue to answer questions all night long, so please ask away. Appreciate you. Tom Brady's back, baby.